was really honored to be asked to say a few words today about my experience with Bloomerang. Worked with Chris for quite some time to go from the beginning of the sales process to implementation. And when I started out doing this process, the first time for me, I had never been at an organization where I had the opportunity to select a database. So I was a little uncertain about doing it and wanted to take my time to really think through it, figure it out. And Chris was extremely patient. There was no pressure in answering tons of questions and understanding where we were coming from. We asked very detail-oriented questions, and I don't know from other people if they usually go into exactly the same level of detail, but I felt that I needed to know that if we were going to do this, that there would be certain components of the database that would work for us, and I wanted to understand fairly intimately how they would work so that there were no surprises down the line, that things that I felt we needed to be able to do, we could do. I'll also add and say that that Chris and the whole team are all very responsive, very quick in turnaround. So the experience of starting with Bloomerang from the start was incredibly positive for our organization. Our data conversion was pretty heavy lifting, I think. We have a database. It was a homegrown database. It was created for us by someone local in our community for our exact needs. And we are an organization that takes care of people at end of life. And so we needed a system that would have the flexibility to track all the information that we need to track about fundraising that everyone would expect, but then we also needed the ability to track information custom and specific to our patients and family care and relationships, where we would know that we're talking to the right prospects. So our information was all over the place in our old database, and confusing, and sometimes information was stored in one spot and other times it was stored in another spot. So the process of moving it from one place to the next was a pretty serious, intense experience. And throughout, the project managers were really impressive in their ability to understand the existing database, to understand the challenges, to lay out to us how to do the process. And we hit a number of bumps where we didn't know how to do things, or we didn't know how to verify if certain information were correct. And again, the level of patience, the level of responsiveness, I don't know actually that I've worked with a company or with a group of people before that has been at that level. We're now live, and it was pretty cool and kind of funny that after all the intensity of reviewing data, making sure that everything was correct, which took an extensive amount of time for us, that when it came time to launch, it was like, okay, in 2 days, you'll be live. And that was almost surprising and exciting. And so we dove right in. We have 4 customized coaching sessions that we have yet to arrange, because we wanted to give ourselves the time to dig into the database and understand and see what we could figure out for ourselves and see where we might need some assistance. And I'm glad that we've made that decision so far, because one of the things that we've learned is that the system is so intuitive that we're able to figure out a lot of things on our own. And so we're reserving those coaching sessions for some bigger projects, for some bigger concepts of things that we want to figure out, to lean on the experts to show us how to do it. It's possible that our organization might be either the bane of chat support's existence, or maybe they really enjoy us, I don't know. But between myself and my 2 colleagues who do the work with the database, we use chat support constantly, and we use it for some of the most basic and simple questions. A week ago, I needed to create a report that was specific, and I didn't know how to create it. And full disclosure, I didn't really have the time to poke around and figure it out. So I decided to just reach out to chat support, and I was very thorough in my explanation of what I was looking for. And the gentleman that was working on chat support with me said, give me a moment to log into the back end of your database. I'll take a look. And he came back to me and had a step-by-step list of instructions of how to do it. And I basically followed the instructions and I got the report exactly as I needed. So the chat support has been amazing in being so responsive, so quick, and also very detail oriented in the responses. I think early on, I was a little nervous about the idea of only having support through chat and not phone, which I believe there's a fee for. And as it turns out, the chat support has been more than adequate, and we have asked so much of them. So that's amazing. And then also by them walking me through the process of creating the report, I've now learned something, and I have a baseline when I want to run other reports that are similar to it. Now I know how to do it.